have left my toxic relationship. My life changed in a very short span of time. I sat in my car from 1 to 6:30 in the morning. I do want to say that sometimes the breakdown is actually the breakthrough. You're going to do a million things in your life. God is going to hit you with a mean left and right hook. Did let people run all over me. I don't play that now. When you see those red flags, they're there. I allowed other people to disrespect me. I didn't respect myself. Become who you desire to become, or who God wants you to. What we get done is what we get done. What we achieve is what we achieve. What we do is what we do, and what we don't, it's okay. Point blank period. If you do not align with those things, you will get the boot. Hit the road, Jack. I do not inspire to be Mr. B. Kai Sinai. Subscribe to my channel and stay with Frank. Guys, welcome back to my channel. Since we are now in 2026, I wanted to do a sit down video and talk with you guys about the new year. I didn't want to just talk about new beginnings, because that's kind of what most of the New Year's videos talk about how 2025 ended and what I want 2026 to look like. Before we get really too deep into this video, I wanted to say that I am getting over being sick, so I may sound congested, and I have my laptop right here, which I kind of created template of what exactly I want to talk about in this video. So if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. I am gonna try not to read this too much and just talk with you guys, but this is to just keep me on track with talking to you guys, to make sure I kind of hit everything that I wanted to talk about. I don't want to just talk about goals, but I want to talk about growth, endings, and new beginnings. Mostly intentionally what I'm trying to bring into 2026. I'm still a new YouTuber, and I've got quite a few videos up now, but I really want this space on my channel, and I've said this in my intro video. I want this to be a open and honest and raw place. I said from the jump that I just don't want it to be fake. I feel like a lot of, not speaking about anyone specific, and I am just assuming, but I feel like a lot of YouTubers, they don't entirely give the real. And I feel like YouTube is for that, to, show everyone's romanticized life. But I, Vince on my channel, I want the raw, the real, and I want it all. Like, I want this to be an open, real space on my channel. There's just certain things about my personal life that I'm not gonna include on my channel, but I am still going to incorporate things that I feel like need to be talked about, that a lot of people don't talk about, or that don't express about their lives, or stories that people don't tell. So I've always said I want to tell my story in my intro video. That is the reason why I started YouTube, is because I want to tell my story. So this video ultimately is just a reset for me, and hopefully it could be a reset for you too. Hopefully, obviously you might not be experiencing the same things I experienced, but hopefully you could take something from this video with you to bring into your new year as well. So without further ado, let's get into this video. We are going to start by reflecting on how 2025 ended. 2025 didn't end the way I imagined it to, but looking back, it ended the way that it needed to. If we're being honest, I made the decision I didn't really get to make a decision, honestly. I was forced into making this decision, and I know some people might be like, what do you mean? You're not forced to do anything. But in this situation, which I'm not going to give details, because like I said, there are personal things about my life that I'm just not going to incorporate, especially because this topic involves someone else's life, and I'm just not the person to bash someone or to speak negatively publicly about them. Now, behind closed doors, that's a different story. I can say what I want to say, but I'm just not that type of girl. Like, I will speak my mind with myself, but I'm not going to publicly embarrass anyone or downgrade anyone or anything of that sort. So it was a toxic relationship. I might have talked about him in a few of my other videos. I did want to let you guys know, because I know my channel is going to look different from here. You guys are going to pick up on those things. It wasn't easy leaving, but I honestly stayed longer than I should have. I should have left a long time ago. There were a lot of red flags that I ignored. I tried to convince myself that love meant enduring discomfort. I eventually realized that in this world, you have to just choose yourself. I know we always want to choose other people. We want to, express our love to other people. We want to put our family first. We want to do all these things, but ultimately you have to choose yourself at the end of the day because you are all you got. And I'm sure everyone has heard that 1,000 times, but it is so true. We say these things and we hear these things 1,000 times, but we do not actually implement them in our life. And this year, I want to try to actually implement the things that I preach into my life. Not long after, well, literally the same day that I was made the decision to leave my relationship, I moved in with my aunt. That's currently where I am right now. She's obsessed with cows, so if you see the cows in the background, that's why. They're all over the house. They're like staring at me right now. I have a whole like audience of cows, but I moved in with my aunt. It wasn't really a rational decision. It just all happened so fast. My life changed in the matter of minutes, and like my life changed in a very short span of time. So I left my relationship. I had to move in with my aunt. That is where I am currently. It was a lot to take in at once, and that is why I also went a big gap without posting videos, if anyone's noticed. It also is the reason why all my videos came after that they should have. So like the cruise video came in wintertime, like because of all the stuff I had going on. I just had to focus on that before I could get back to my channel. I did, and I still uploaded those videos for you guys because it was good content that I wasn't just gonna let go to waste over the fact that it was late or whatever. That is the reasoning for that gap, why my videos are coming a little late. I'm kind of got pushed back, and I am currently trying to catch up. That is something I will talk about a little bit further in the video. When I first moved here, it really did feel like a setback. I obviously was very depressed with everything that happened. Literally the night that everything happened, I sat in my car. When I got here, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. I stayed in my car from 1 o'clock in the morning to about 6:30 a.m. when my aunt was bringing the kids to school. Pause for a second, guys. Intermission. Sorry if I sound so terrible talking. I am so congested and my words just my mouth seems to be like really watery. My words might sound a little slurred, but the day goes on. So we're going to continue. Like I was saying, I sat in my car from 1 to 6:30 in the morning. Some people may be like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, why would you do that? Like, what was the point of it? Everything changed in a very short span of time. In that moment, I sat there in the car that long because I was trying to process everything. Like my brain could not catch up with how fast everything was going. It was not able to understand, it was not able to think, it was not able to process whatsoever. So in that moment of sitting there that long, it was like I was just processing and taking in everything that had happened, everything that is about to happen, and what my life is going to look like going forward from that moment. It wasn't like I chose to just sit in the car like a crazy person. It's just what my body did in that moment. After that day, things got better. And I can say now where I am, I see why it went that way. God or the higher power or the universe, whatever you believe in, I kind of say both, but I believe that is the way that it was supposed to happen. It was the only way that well, probably not the only way, but I was going to sit there and wait and wait and wait till the right time to leave. There was never going to be a right time. And in that moment, like I completely lost myself. I was starting to lose myself throughout the, end of the relationship. I really don't know what to say about it because I've moved on from it. I've let it go. I left that in 2025. So I'm not going to go any deeper into it. The overall point was to let you guys know that I am no longer in a relationship and kind of what happened at the end of 2025. 2025 was not my year. 2025 was absolutely terrible. And I am so glad to be in 2026. Even though it was terrible, I believe in God's plan. I believe in everything happens for a reason. It was obviously meant for me to go through the things that I went through, and it obviously has a purpose. I will say that not long after I moved in with my aunt, like I said a few minutes ago, I definitely felt like a setback. It felt like I was going backwards instead of forward in life. If a lot of people know me, I try. Now, I do not give life my full potential. I can take accountability for that. But ultimately, I do try more than a lot of people that I personally know to achieve things in life that I want to achieve. So going through that and kind of getting forced into situations, it was a toll on me. I understand now why it was beneficial because they had people there for me in that hard time to make sure that I was okay and to bring me out of that, to just be there for me and support me in the way that they can. I thank every last person that was by my side during those times and in that moment, and anybody that supported and helped me in any kind of way. I want to thank you so much if you watch this video. In my little, thing that I wrote down in my notes for this video, I kind of incorporated some quotes because I felt like quotes and affirmations are always nice to hear. And since we're talking about, a new year, I do want to kind of incorporate those quotes and affirmations as I go throughout this video. I do want to say that sometimes the breakdown is actually the breakthrough. So, being said with what I just talked about, it was extremely a breakdown. Like, it was the biggest breakdown. Well, I can't say the biggest breakdown I went through my life. I have been through a lot. I've been through the list is listing. I'm not gonna say that was the worst thing that I went through, but it was entirely a breakdown. Like, I slept a lot, I stayed in the bed a lot, I was unmotivated. I did separate from my job at the hair salon, which I talked about in my intro video. I was saying that I was in the hair salon and I was focusing on hair and YouTube, not just because of my relationship, but also because of distance. I was already previously, before the relationship ended, thinking about leaving the hair salon. I honestly was kind of thinking about it when I talked about it in my intro video. And the reasoning for that is because I did not lose love for the actual act of doing hair, the performance of doing hair, but I started to lose love with everything that goes into creating that career for yourself, to be successful in that career for yourself. Everything else that you had to put into it, I just really started to lose interest towards, and it just in my heart, I just kept feeling like it just wasn't. And not doing hair wasn't for me, because I am still doing hair. I still have some of my clients from the salon that I worked at. I'm just not in a salon, and I'm not going to go into the details about that either. I am still doing hair. I'm not really looking for new clients. If some come my way, I will definitely take them, because I will take any opportunity that comes my way. I just didn't want that to be my overall career and source of income anymore. And it just wasn't working for me nor the owner, my boss at the time. So we both kind of sat down. I came into work one day. I already knew the conversation was coming at some point. I literally was anticipating it. We sat down and we both discussed. I kind of wasn't ready to leave exactly in that moment, but because the conversation was had and I could tell that she was expressing that it was no longer working for her, we both kind of agreed to separate. And that's what I did. And I am not going to say I'm happy about it, because it's not really anything to be happy about, but it is part of God's plan, is what I believe. So, as far as work, I am working now at a nail salon doing nails. I have been enjoying that. There are still some hiccups within that, still some questioning within it as well, because you're going to do a million things in your life. Do not feel like you have to pick one thing and that's what you have to do for the rest of your life. Or do not feel like the thing that you are currently in and the thing that you currently chose is where you're destined to be in life. That is not true. You are able to choose and do whatever you desire to. And that is what I'm going to do with my life. Right now, nails is, I love doing nails. It's very enjoyable. There are things, when I say that there are things that are still being thought about and stuff, it's the actual job, not the doing nails, not the place, not the people, but just certain details about the job itself that I'm still trying to figure out and, think on. That's as much as I'm going to say about that. I am working at the nail salon. I actually did these nails myself. I've done quite a few nails now, which I may talk about that in a YouTube video or may incorporate that into my channel one day somehow. I'm not really sure. Maybe on my TikTok, I'll upload videos on there. I want to say that I do not set any expectation for 2026. I do not know what it's going to look like. I don't know who I'm going to become. I don't know what I'm going to go through. I don't know what I'm going to achieve, what I'm going to fail at. I don't know any of those things. And I feel like a lot of people, they start the new year saying, okay, we are going to do this, this, and this. This is how the year is going to look. Rude awakening, no, it's not. It can. Some people's plan that they give themselves is a plan that God, the higher power, the universe also gave them. But 9 times out of 10, what you say is going to happen and what your life is going to look like, it's not. God is going to slap you in the face. God is going to hit you with a mean left and right hook and put you through things that you were not prepared to go through, you did not expect to go through, which is going to cause other things to change, which is going to your life is going to change in ways that you did not plan for. So I have now realized that I am not going to say that, oh, this is my year. Oh, this is what my 2026 is going to look like. Oh, this is no. Whatever it looks like is what it looks like. However it ends is how it ends. I have put my life into God's hands. So now that doesn't mean I'm not going to set goals for myself. I do have goals for myself. There are things that I want to try to achieve this year. There are things that I'm obviously going to work on. But what I'm saying is, however it unravels, whatever I end up going through, whatever life puts me through and where it puts me and what it allows me to be able to do is what it is kind of what I'm trying to get at. Some people can agree, some people can disagree. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but this is my channel and this is my story. So I am going to tell it how I want it to be told. What I'm leaving in 2020. Here is what I'm consciously leaving in 2025. Definitely toxic relationships. I have been through my fair share of toxic relationships. They have made me so strong. Back then, they'd let people run all over me. I don't play that now. You are doing things I don't like. I'm going to express that. I'm going to give you room to change that. And if you don't, I will move on with my life. I will express exactly how I feel. I would not hold back anything, whether it hurts you, whether you didn't want to hear it, whatever the case may be, I don't care. I will express it. And some of the people that has dealt with me in the end of 2025, beginning of 2026, has realized that I will not put up with anything I do not want to put up with. This is my life and I am not going to live it living through other people's fears, other people's trauma, other people's insecurity, any of that. I'm not living it through that. So I will not deal with anything I do not want to deal with. We're all gonna doubt ourselves when we're going through things. We're gonna doubt ourselves when things are not going the way that they want to. It's kind of, I'm not gonna say impossible. It's hard. It's definitely not impossible. But I am going to consciously try to be aware of these things. Another thing would be leaving the habit of ignoring the red flags just because I want something to work. When you see those red flags, they're there. Like, they're not, oh, maybes, oh, maybe, like, it's not a maybe. You see them, they're there, acknowledge them, act accordingly to them. I will be leaving people pleasing. I never have really been a people pleaser. I don't care to please people. A lot of people will say that I am mean, I am rude, I am whatever they want to say, but it's because I am real. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm going to tell you about yourself. If someone were to come to me, this is just an example. If someone were to come to me and say, do I look ugly in this? And they look hideous, I'm going to be like, that you look hideous. Take it off. I'm not going to hold back. I don't beat around the bush. I speak how I feel. Definitely never been a people pleaser, but I feel like there were times in my life where I, kind of put myself on the back burner. I also am leaving the version of myself that accepted less than I deserve. All these things kind of correlate to each other. I kind of talked about that already. I'm not really going to go any more in detail about it. A few other things that I'm going to leave behind is expectations, negativity, and just putting people before myself. This year is all about choosing me. With that being said, I want to incorporate another affirmation. I no longer abandon myself to be chosen by others. And that is as simple as it could be said. To wrap up what I just talked about, 2025 is over. We talked about what we did to talk about with it. Take 3. It ended at me saying that was it for 2025. We're going to leave everything that was talked about in 2025. That door is officially closed and it will not be reopened and we will not look back. 2025 is washed down the drain. What I'm bringing into 2026. In 2026, I am choosing peace. I feel like I chose chaos a lot. I feel like I put myself in chaotic situations that I could have kept myself out of. And I kind of allowed myself to be chaotic, stressed out all the time because I overly obsessed over things to a point where I'm not even achieving them. I'm just obsessing over them. This year is just about peace. My life has been chaotic and I just would like a year with peace, even if that's all I get out of it. Hey, I'm choosing consistency over perfection. This is hard to do for me because 1, I suck at being consistent, and 2, I am a perfectionist. So I'm gonna have to definitely work with that. but it is something that I definitely want to work on this year. I definitely choose perfection over consistency any day. When it comes to my YouTube videos, I try to perfect my YouTube videos, but I'm not consistent uploading. And because I'm trying to perfect my YouTube videos, it's taking longer to edit, which is stopping me from creating more content. With the gym, I try to perfect my gym routines, but I don't go consistently. I'm not really doing anything for my body if I'm just perfecting the routine and not consistently using that routine. And I could go on and on and on with examples on how I do this. I am choosing self-respect, boundaries, and alignment. I feel like I rarely have ever had boundaries in my life, and the few boundaries that I did have, I let people not follow those boundaries. I am definitely choosing self-respect. What that also means is I allowed other people to disrespect me, which meant I didn't respect myself. That goes for not allowing other people to disrespect me, to just respect myself, not beat myself up so much. I feel like I do that a lot. I want this year to be about softness and discipline, about showing up even when it's uncomfortable, and about trusting myself again, standing firm in my decision. Let's talk about the softness and discipline. It is kind of hard to have both, especially with me, because, for example, if this was the list, like let's just pretend like this was a list of things I had to do today and it was full from top to bottom, what I would do is sit here and be like, I have to get all this done today or my day's ruined. I have to check everything off of this list, which now has me scrambling in shambles trying to get everything done on this long list that I created myself, instead of looking at the list and saying, okay, this is what I want to get done today. What I get done is what I get done, and what I don't, and that is okay. There's always tomorrow. That is kind of what I mean by softness and discipline. I want to be disciplined, but I still want to continue to be soft with myself. I don't want to over obsess and overdo it. And then showing up when it's uncomfortable. To be comfortable, you have to be uncomfortable. If you are uncomfortable, that means you are growing. When we went from scooting across the ground to crawling, that probably was kind of uncomfortable for us at first. When you are going to the gym and you work out for the first time, that is going to be very uncomfortable. But guess what? You're growing as a child. Your body is growing. You are reaching the body that you desire, that you are working for. Showing up even when it's uncomfortable, you have to be uncomfortable to grow. And then trusting myself again and standing firm in my decision. I do feel like I doubt myself a lot and I do not trust myself, but I am choosing to trust God, which will allow me to trust myself. Let's end that off with a quote. Peace is expensive, but it's always worth the price. I'm gonna let you ponder on that yourself. Let's move on to 2026 personal goals. This year, my goals aren't just about achievements, they're about who I'm becoming. We create goals to achieve things, which is kind of ultimately the point of goals. But if you look at them as in they are just to create the person that I want to become, to shape the person I am becoming, it's kind of more pleasant looking at it that way than looking at achieving. Because when the end of the year comes, you created all these goals and you didn't achieve them, it is really hard to not doubt yourself and not like just be upset by it. You felt like you made these goals and these achievements and you're looking at it as, I did not achieve these things. What did I do? And you kind of self-doubt. So if you look at it as in you created these things, slowly become who you desire to become or who God wants you to become, then it's kind of a little bit more easier looking at it at the end of the year. You're like, okay, I have these goals. The ones that I were able to work on got me closer to being who I desire to be. Next is emotionally, I want to fully heal, not just move on. I feel that I am healed, but I also don't know if it's just because I just moved on. But I do have things that I am working on to heal, like, kind of like assignments and worksheets, just listening to podcasts, reading self-help books, stuff of that nature to make sure that I am healing and becoming fully healed. I can say a lot of the stuff I went through in my past I could easily talk about without feeling any emotion. Now that can be because I just moved on and I shoved it down, but it also could be that I healed from it. It doesn't affect me anymore. Because we don't know which one it is, we are still going to work on things and do things that help healing, because I desire to be the best person I can be. Lifestyle wise, I want routines that support my mental health. Every year I try to stick to some type of routine and it just doesn't work out. I try to perfect my day. 9 times out of 10 I end the day feeling like my day was crappy, I didn't follow the routine exactly the way that I put it together. What we get done is what we get done. What we achieve is what we achieve. What we do is what we do, and what we don't, it's okay. Point blank period. Next is in relationships. I'm not rushing anything. I want healthy connections, honest communication, and people who align with my values. No more forcing and no more settling. That is something I want to work on. Do I feel like I am going to accomplish that 100% this year? No. Because I am still a girl. I still desire love, and I still have a big heart. And even though I've been through all I've been through, and these men have took pieces of my heart piece by piece, I still have a lot of it left, and I am very forgiving. I just give people the benefit of the doubt, and I'm okay with that. I do not want to lose that part of myself. I really don't. I feel like I've definitely lost some of that of myself. I definitely feel like I've become more colder, less big-hearted. I don't want to lose that part of myself entirely. I love that I was able, even though the people that I was with did nothing for me and drained the life out of me and caused me trauma, it does make me happy to know that I brought something into their life or worked to improve them as a person, or was there for them during hard times, or whatever the case may be. And I don't regret that at all. I don't want to rush into anything, and I want healthy connections and honest communication and people who align with my values. Yeah, no more forcing, no more settling. I am not going to beg anyone to love me. I am not going to beg anyone to be with me. I'm not going to force anyone into loving me the way that I need to be loved and showing up for me the way that I need to be shown up for. If you do not align with those things, you will get the boot. Hit the road, Jack. And personally, I want to become the woman I needed a few years. This one hits hard. Like, I want to become the woman that I needed a few years ago. Think about that. Think about that for yourself. Man, woman, whoever. Think about that for yourself. Think about the person you needed a few years and what that looked like, what that life looked like, how that life operated, and incorporate that into your year. And that's what I want to do with. Next is YouTube and creative goals. With YouTube, my biggest goal is consistency. I can't seem to say that word right now. Authenticity. You know what I'm trying to say. But definitely consistency, not perfection. So I do want to try my hardest to give you guys content. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit on this. It is going to be hard to do so because, one, I live in Louisiana. There's not much out here for content creators to be able to create content. Two, I still have to focus on my finances. I still have bills to pay. I still have things to... I'm not making money from YouTube yet. I do have to still focus on work, focus on doing what I need to do to get the finances to sustain my life. But I am going to try to schedule out time, make time for content, and create whatever content I can give y'all. It might not be the best content this year, but as I continue on YouTube, I know that my content will grow, and I know that I'll be able to, come up with new things, and life will change to be able to give you guys different content and whatnot. I am going to try to somehow, some way, which I have ideas already. I have things planned out, and just give me grace. Hopefully you guys will stick by my side through the journey, and y'all will be here now, and y'all will be here in years from now when I'm a whole new person with a whole new life, and probably got all the content in the world for you guys. I also don't want to compare myself to other creators or rush my growth. I want to find my voice naturally and use this platform as a creative and healing outlet. I kind of talked about that in my intro video. I do not aspire to be Mr. Beast. I don't aspire to be Kai Cenat. I don't inspire to be any of those people that are big in the content creation life. That is not why I started YouTube. I did not start YouTube to make really an income off of it. I do desire one day to be able to make income to feel like my work is being paid off, but it's not what I wanted to start YouTube for. It's not why I came to this platform. I came to this platform to find my voice, tell my story, and use this platform as a creative and healing outlet, and to help others. Like that's mainly what I talked about. Like, I want to be able to help others so that I know, at least when I pass away, that I may not have did what I wanted to do in my life. I may not have achieved the things that I wanted to achieve. My life may not have looked at how I wanted to look. My life could end with it being, knock on wood, my life could end tomorrow, and I want to at least be able to know that I try to help other people. So yeah, that's just the kind of person that I am, and it just is what it is. That is just what I want my YouTube to look like. Alright, with that being said, thank you guys for being here and listening to my story. If you feel comfortable, let me know down in the comments what you're leaving in 2025 and what you're going to bring into 2026. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel to follow along with me on this journey. I'm excited to see what this year brings for me and for you guys. I love you guys so much, and I'm going to end the video with a affirmation, and that is, I am aligned, I am protected, I am stepping into the next chapter with confidence. Bye guys, love y'all. Listening to my story. If you take 2, subscribe to my channel to see, and also subscribe to my channel and stay with Frank. Enjoyed this video. Hold on. Okay, with that. Okay, I'm gonna wait for my aunt to shut up. Listening to my story. Hey, aunt. Take 100 and listening to. Bye.